Hey team, so I'm going to talk to you guys about Instagram, a couple of things that have been helping me and that I've learned from other leaders. And I'm also going to give you guys two resources after this, one from Bonnie Engel and then another one from Jen Richardson, who are both really good on Instagram. And I didn't want to try to recreate their trainings when they give really good tips for you to learn how to use Instagram. And between the two trainings is about 50 minutes. I think Bonnie's is about 20 minutes and Jen's about 30 minutes. I want you to take the time to get through those, and don't feel like you have to do both of them and my training all in one day. Take it and maybe do one of them this week, one the next week, one the next week, okay? Or within a couple days. So let's talk about Instagram, guys. The first thing that I want you guys to think about is, especially as a branding coach, I think we can overwhelm ourselves thinking like, okay, where do I start? Who do I help? We each have different things going on in our lives. For me, you guys know I've been going through my infertility journey. I also am a toddler mom. I also have thyroid issues. I also live a gluten-free, sometimes dairy-free lifestyle. I'm also a wife. I'm a labradoodle mom. All this different stuff that makes up who I am. Now, there's things about you that make you unique. Okay, maybe you don't have any children. Maybe you're pregnant with your first child. Maybe you have several children. Maybe you're a single mom. There's things that make you unique. And those are the things that you want to broadcast on your Instagram, because when you're attracting people, you want to attract people like you, because when you attract people like you, there's a good chance that you're going to get along, right? So think about those things that make you unique. I want you to come up with, 5 to 10 things that make you unique. Just write them down. I told you guys before a couple of mine: hypothyroidism, gluten-free, dairy-free lifestyle, secondary infertility. I'm a toddler girl mom. I am a wife. I am a labradoodle mom. I think that's a lot of the stuff about me, okay? So those are the things that you're going to be seeing me share on my Instagram stories. I also really like the black and white quotes that have like funny or inspirational type quotes. Those are the things that hit me. I like to have the black and white quotes because they make them really clean. So I post about that on my Instagram. So make sure that if you're someone who gets inspired by seeing that clean black and white quote type thing that you can see that I have on my Instagram stories, add that in as well, okay? So think of the things that make up who you are and write them down, okay? Now, after that, you guys, you're going to go through, and I think the website, what was the website called? There is a website called displaypurposes.com. It's all one word, displaypurposes.com. And if you go to that website and you type in some of these hashtags that you're thinking about, like, for instance, you come up with a list of 5 to 10 things and you say, okay, I'm a toddler mom like Meg. So you type in hashtag toddler mom. You'll notice on that website, when you type that in, it comes up with several different hashtags below it. It'll say toddler girl mom, toddler boy mom, toddler mom problems. Like, it comes up with this whole list of hashtags. What I want you to do is write down those hashtags, okay? The ones that are connected to that, whatever thing that you're connecting with, okay? Another one would be hypothyroidism. So if I type in hypothyroidism, I'm going to see all these different hashtags that people are using on Instagram that are connected to hypothyroidism, okay? So I'm going to write down those hashtags. I'm going to write down the ones for toddler girl moms. I'm going to write down the ones for being a wife. I'm going to write down the ones for gluten-free lifestyle, and so forth, up to the 5 to 10 things that you come up with, okay? Just write down 5 or 6 hashtags. It doesn't have to be the whole long list, you guys. 5 or 6 hashtags for each of those topics for you, okay? And have that list handy, okay? So the reason that you do that, you guys, is that Instagram doesn't like you to use the same hashtags on every single picture. It's becoming very focused on whatever you're talking about. So if you see me posting about secondary infertility, I'm not going to be posting about the fact that I'm a labradoodle mom, or the fact that I have thyroid issues. Well, maybe thyroid issues, because sometimes that's connected. Or the fact that I am a wife, or the fact that I am a toddler girl mom, because I'm talking about the fact of having infertility issues. So my hashtags are going to be connected to that. When I'm talking about Tenley and the fact that I have a toddler girl, I'm not going to be posting about infertility hashtags, because people are going to say, but you already have a kid. Okay, so it kind of has to have the same similarities. Another example of that is that, and this is a stupid example, but it makes sense. If you are posting a picture of water and you do a hashtag for rock, people are going to say, how is water and rock connected? You should be doing a hashtag for water versus rocks. Make sense? Okay, so you're going to have that list of hashtags that are connected to who you are. Every single day, I want you to put up 1 or 2 posts on your Instagram that are grabbing 1 or 2 of those topics. So you'll notice one of mine right now is secondary infertility, because I know a lot of people on my page are looking for that. I also know that a lot of people on my page are, also on their health and fitness journey. So I'm going to be posting health and fitness journey stuff, my infertility stuff, and then health and fitness stuff, and then the fact that I have a toddler girl. How many times can I say that? And then I'm going to post about my fitness journey, and then I'm going to share that I am a wife. Like, I kind of mix it in, you guys, throughout the days of the week. It's not going to be every single day I post about my fitness and thyroid issues and so forth, okay? So you take those 5 topics and mix them through your Instagram. So if you went on my page, you'd see, not every day is the same, hopefully. Okay, so the whole goal of doing that is that you're connecting with someone who is like you, but maybe as you're connecting with that person, they're going to connect deeper with you because that you are a single mom. And maybe not so much on the fact that you're a fitness instructor, but then once they see that you're on your fitness journey and you're a single mom and you got it going on, they're going to feel a little more compelled to reach out to you about that. Make sense? It just connects it on a deeper level. Okay, so think about those hashtags first and foremost that you're going to be posting on Instagram and the types of pictures. Like I said, 1 to 2 times per day on Instagram posting a picture. Okay, it doesn't have to be 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 times. Okay, that's Instagram stories. We'll get into that at the end. The next thing that I like to point out to you guys is making sure that you are looking for people. Okay, so as a brand new coach, we have 2 different areas. Okay, so you have your warm market. Those are people who love you, your friends, your family members, your coworkers, people who are just close to you, your spouse, your sisters, everything. Okay, so those are the people that know you, love you, trust you. Then you also have to start focusing on growing your network. What I see too many new coaches do is they're like, I don't have any friends and family members that would be interested, before you even ask. You have to ask, you guys. You have to ask. You never know who would be interested, okay? I never in a million years would think that some of the people who've decided to join my team as a coach or to even become just a client of mine that are family members would have been interested. But then I look back and I'm so glad that I asked them, because now it's changing their life. They're healthier. When I get together at family events, I talk to my aunts about it, and some of my aunts are, doing Clean Week or 21 Day Fix, and that's really cool to hear, and I would have never assumed that they did. Okay, so you have to get over that fear of inviting people who are your warm market and just ask them, you guys. Ask them. The worst thing that happens is they say no, and guess what? You continue on your journey, they continue to watch you, and they join on later on. That happened with majority of my family. Okay, so you have your warm market, and then you have your cold market. So once you start, building your cold market, which I would suggest, sorry, my hair is kind of crazy. I would suggest getting into that within within the first couple weeks of being a coach. Okay, so you're building your warm market. You've already connected with them, not from day 1, but by probably week 4 of your business, you want to start tapping into building your network. Okay, so on Instagram, it is the fastest way to build your network right now. Okay, focus on it. I would suggest doing this. Okay, so you have those lists of hashtags that you went to displaypurposes.com, and you created those lists of hashtags that match up with the kind of person you're wanting to connect with, right? And you have those hashtags written down so that when you post about being a single mom, you have all of those hashtags. When you post about being pregnant, you have all of those hashtags. You can put them underneath your pictures. Now we take it to the next level to find people. What do? I would suggest looking at those hashtags, okay, and look for hashtags that have, I would say, probably 200,000 or more hashtags per day. And what I mean by that, you guys, and I want to make sure I show you this because this can be really confusing. So the little search bar at the bottom, you click it, say that we type in toddler girl. Ooh, I can't type. Okay, so if I typed in toddler girl mom, if you guys can see that. I can't even see it now, so it's at the top, okay? So toddler girl mom, it shows that there are 1,587 posts per day going on that. So that would be a good post for me to use every single day, or a hashtag to use every single day, but I'm not going to go to that hashtag to find people. That makes sense. You want to make sure that you're using hashtags that have smaller amounts on your actual post for the day. I would say 100, this is going to be confusing, 100,000 or less. And as you click and type in that hashtag, you're going to see the numbers of, you know, posts that are used per day. Okay. So if I went down to toddler girl model, that only has 290. I would not use that. Okay. But if I just type in toddler girl, let's see, there's one that has like toddler girl fashion. That's like 14 million. Okay. So if I went there, those would be the type of hashtags that I was looking for to add people to my network. So let's back this up because that can be a little confusing. I'm like confusing myself in my head. When you're looking for hashtags to put on your posts, 100,000 or less per day showing through when you type in the hashtag. Okay, it'll show underneath how many people use that. So that's the kind of hashtag that you put underneath your pictures, because the smaller the amount, the higher the chance your post on the hashtag is going to be seen by people. Okay, now if we're using a hashtag that's used over 100,000 times per day, that's a fast moving hashtag. So like sun, sky, moon, those are silly examples, but people are using those often, or fun, you know, having fun. Like those are just so random hashtags. Everyone's using those. So they're like rapidly going through, right? So you wouldn't use that on your actual post. But when you're looking for people to grow your network with, you want to go to hashtags that have people posting a lot, right? Because you're going to find a lot of good quality people underneath those. So for me, I know secondary, even though I still use this one because it's true to my heart, secondary infertility is a highly used hashtag. You know, if I went on there, it would be like 200, 300,000 per day that people are using that hashtag. So I would use that hashtag to build my network versus to get people onto my page. Makes sense? So the higher hashtags are the ones that you're going to be searching for people, and we'll get into that in a second. The smaller hashtags, 100,000 or less, are the ones that you put on your pictures. Okay, so how are we going to find these people on these giant hashtags? So say that we type in, I'm trying to think of other things, hashtag, you know, love travel. Okay, and that's going to be a huge hashtag. That's going to be, you know, hundreds and hundreds of thousand people using those hashtags. So when we go on there and we look for those people on those hashtags, you're going to go through and you're going to see, you know, I would say 50 guys, 50 people, okay? And don't overwhelm yourself. Do one day a week where you go through and you find 50 people on that hashtag or through a couple of the higher used hashtags that connect with the kind of person you're trying to find, and you're going to go through and just follow them, okay? Once you get good at it, you guys, you're going to go through it really fast and be like, oh, yep, they're all moms, okay. Or, oh, yep, they all like to travel, you know, and then you just go through and just follow all of those people, 50 people, okay? When you get really good at it, it's going to take you 15, 20 minutes, and you're done for the week of adding to your network. Now, here's where the important part comes in. You do that one day per week. Yes, you can stretch it out throughout the week. You know, you could do like 10 people Monday through Friday, but I suggest just chunking it together, because what I find is that to get yourself up, at least for me, to do one of those tasks, I'm like, you know, I build up my confidence, I get myself focused, and then to have to build up that confidence and that focus every single day, it's less likely to happen. But if I can do it all at once in one day and then have that to-do list crossed off for the week, amazing. Okay, it's going to save you so much time throughout the week, and you're going to get it all done. Amazing, right? It's not something you had to skip. So I would suggest one day a week, spending time searching hashtags and finding 50 people who are like you, the kind of person you want to connect with. Follow them. You don't have to track them, okay? You do not have to track those 50 people. Just trust me here, okay? Now, you're going to pick another day that you're going to go back through, and you're going to look at the people who followed you back, okay? So the people who followed you back off of those 50 people, you're going to send a message to them. Okay, you're just going to send a message, and you're just going to say, hey, thank you so much for following me. I noticed that you're a single mom as well. Or I noticed that you like to travel a lot as well. That's so great. What's your favorite place to go to? Or I noticed that you're on your pregnancy journey as well. I don't know. Sorry guys, tongue-tied. I noticed that you're on your pregnancy journey as well. How have you been feeling? Sorry, I don't know why I'm tongue-tied right now. So you'd send that message to the people who followed you back. It might be 5, it might be 15, it might be 30, it might be 4. Whatever happens, you send those messages to the people who followed you back, okay? Later on in the week, this is another day, you guys. Those people who followed you back, you're going to do the 5-3-1 method. You're going to go through and like 5 of their pictures, comment on 3 of them, and then message them off of 1 of them. So how does this look throughout the day? Or throughout the week? Monday, you go through and you search hashtag toddler girl mom because it's a giant hashtag, okay? And you're going to go on, you follow 50 people. After you follow those 50 people, you're going to, on Tuesday, go back and look at who followed you back. From the people who followed you back, you're going to send them a message. Hey, I noticed that you're also a toddler girl mom. How have things been going for you? Your daughter is adorable. Quick message, okay? Once you send that message, that person gets tracked. I use Teamsy. Some people use Excel, Google Doc sheets. You can use a pen and paper as long as you're going to keep it like organized in a notebook. You can use Social Team Builder is another one. Teamsy and Social Team Builder cost money to track, but it's worth it, you guys. Or you can do Google Docs and just create an Excel sheet and have, you know, columns of who you're tracking. It's totally up to you what you use. We go over ways to track in the self-led training. If you missed that or you forgot it, go back and rewatch those videos. I believe Corey Mayo talked about some ways to track as well. Watch that, figure out one that fits for you. Okay, so you're gonna go through, you send out those messages on Tuesday. On Wednesday or Thursday, you're gonna go back and you're gonna see the people who have either responded back to your message or have followed you still, you know, because some people might follow you on Wednesday or Thursday after you followed them on Monday, and you're going to 5-3-1 them. So you're going to go through and you're going to find those people, whether it's 5, 10, 15, 20 people who followed you back. You're going to go back and you're going to spend time 5-3-1ing them, liking 5 of their pictures, commenting on 3 of them, and making sure that it's a quality response to people, not just cute hat, but hey, that hat is so cute. Where did you get it from? Smiley face. Okay, and then messaging that person the same thing. You know, you can comment on their picture and then say, hey, I just wanted to make sure that you saw my comment. I love that hat. Where is it from? That would be the message. That would be the one. So the 5-3-1 method. Okay, if you get consistent with this, you guys, where you have hashtags that are specific to the kind of person you're wanting to connect with, okay, and you're using those hashtags every single day, and then you're taking it a step further and you're looking for those larger hashtags that fit the kind of person you want to connect with, and going through and following 50 people once a week, okay, and then going on and messaging the people who follow you back, and then going through and 5-3-1ing them, you're going to see your account grow. If you want your account to grow faster, increase the number of people who you are following on that first day, okay? Some people do 100 people per day. I could never do that. That would overwhelm me. I would suggest starting with 50 and building up, okay? So let's talk about Instagram stories. So I saw some of you guys had questions about Instagram stories and knowing like what to post on Instagram and what to post on Instagram stories. Melanie Mitchell had a really good training on this, and she talked about, you know, the difference between Instagram and the actual stories is Instagram, like your actual, your pictures, you know, like where you see all of the pictures on your Instagram account. Those are meant for like pretty pictures, have the right filter, you know, valuable content where you're like sharing something deep or valuable to help people through something and that sort of thing. So it's pretty pictures, okay? That's not where we're like always posting sweaty selfies or like our Shakeology cup or anything like that. You really got to start thinking about like the type of it's like a magazine cover of what you want your pictures to look like, okay? So don't scare yourself out of posting because you're like, I can't post very well. Mine is not perfect, you guys, if you notice, and I'll share some hashtags, or not some hashtags, some apps with you guys that helps me brighten mine up. But like, here's mine. It's not wonderful, okay? But then if you go back several months ago of mine, when I wasn't using, let me see, my account's going slow. It might take me a while. But, you know, if you go back and I wasn't using a lot of filters, you can't see the colors pop. It just kind of seems like meshy, even though I have the white and black filter, the white and black pictures. It just doesn't flow very well. But if you notice my pictures over the last probably couple weeks or so, the colors pop brighter, and that's how Instagram should be. I'll share some apps with you, don't worry. So Instagram, your actual Instagram page is meant for pretty pictures, value, evoking some kind of emotion. Instagram stories is where they get to see you, okay? Dancing around in the morning, getting your workout in, or getting, your Shakeology in, or, the funny moments with your family, or the grind when you get home from work and you're sitting down and working your business, or the fact that you're on a walk with your family, or the fact that you are at a baseball game watching your son play. Like those are the things that you share on your Instagram stories. You wouldn't post 6 pictures right in a row of your kid playing baseball. Maybe one picture that, portrays like the awesome catch that he just had, that you can create a valuable post about on your Instagram page. But Instagram stories would be where you share, the whole not highlight reel, but the good, the bad, the ugly of a real life. Okay. And Instagram stories gives us a chance to have people get to know us on a deeper level. Okay. You can also use Instagram polls on Instagram stories. That's amazing when you're deciding between 2 different dresses, or you just want people's opinions on something. I like to ask silly questions on there, but it's just a way to get people to engage and get to know you on a deeper level, because people like to share their opinion. Okay, and if they feel like their opinion matters, they're going to be more likely to follow you and continue to follow you. Okay. So the other thing that I want to make sure that I mention, you guys, is that how to get more people to your Instagram stories. You got to be using different hashtags, like we talked about. You're going to have the whole list of hashtags. Go through and see which ones get the most people on your Instagram stories. You got to be using different locations. I'll show you guys that in a second. You've got to be making sure that you are talking about your Instagram stories on your Facebook page, as well as in your Instagram posts. So you'll notice a lot of coaches say, oh my God, my daughter just did the cutest thing. You can see the video of it on my Instagram stories, and then they'll use their screaming. Or, Miss Bowler does this all the time, where she says, I have a recipe. If you want to see the recipe, go to my Instagram stories. And she'll go through and she'll show how she made her recipe, step by step through her Instagram stories. Okay, and that's just a way to pull people over. You also want to, if you look at my Instagram, and I'm not perfect, you guys, believe me, there's things that I'm doing wrong that I could do better. But if you look, one of my little things at the top, it says follow my IG stories, and I have an arrow up. Okay, so I added that to my bio. Follow my IG stories, so they can go up and they can see that. Okay, so I would suggest putting that in as much as you can. I would say a couple times a week that you are pointing people towards your Instagram stories, and then make sure that you're actually sharing, between 6 to 10 things on your Instagram stories. Your workouts, maybe a personal development takeaway for the day, your Shakeology, funny things with your family, some things at work, some things at the grocery store, just your life, okay? As well as doing invites and stuff like that, which you guys will get more comfortable the way you go. And the other thing that I want to make sure I mentioned, you guys, is that if you are newer to Instagram and Instagram stories, and you've been building a lot on Facebook, or you're just you're just starting to do this stuff, give yourself a 60 to 90 day delay. Okay, so the things that I'm teaching you, as you start putting in the action, that's day 1. Okay, give yourself 2 to 3 months of consistently doing these actions. I don't mean doing it once a week. I mean every single day, doing these actions to see it pick up. Okay, if you expect your business to grow, you have to put the time and effort in. So if you put the time and effort in, know it's going to take 60 to 90 days. And then once it picks up, you're going to be so happy that you did it. Okay, so just trust that it's going to take some time, and it's going to be worth it if you stay consistent. Okay, so let's talk about your questions. Okay, so you guys asked me, how do I get over feeling awkward with video? The more you do it. The more you do it, practice makes perfect, okay? So, well, really not perfect, because I mess up a lot. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get, okay? You just have to force yourself to do it, number 1. Number 2, I think of talking to my best friend. Like, I love you guys. And when I'm on my Instagram stories, I love my followers. You know, I think about the fact that I am talking to my best friends, the people who get me. Okay. So don't think like, oh my God, I'm talking to all these random people. Because then, yeah, of course, that's going to feel really awkward and weird. But if you imagine that you are sitting across from like your best friend and talking to them, you're going to come across in a different way, right? It's going to help you get more comfortable. So with practice, and imagine that you're talking to your best friend. Okay. The next question was, how do you kind of like get over doing the same thing every day on your Instagram stories without feeling boring? So I used to think, okay, so if I post one, video of myself working out per week, that should be enough because I don't want to bore people. But all of the Instagram gurus in Beachbody, you guys, if you follow them, they're very consistent about posting their workouts every single day. Okay, every single day, because people want to see, number one, consistency. Number two, if you're adding to your network and growing it and more people are popping on, if they joined and followed you on Wednesday, they didn't see your post from Monday because they disappear, right? So you have to stay consistent because you never know what new people are popping on to be able to see that, okay? And number three, it keeps you consistent on your journey. If I know for me at least, every single morning that I have to post a picture of my workout, I'm not going to skip my workout because I almost feel like if I skip my workout, people know. They know I'm skipping it because they've been watching my journey. Okay, even on my days off, I'm like, I feel like I need to tell everyone it's my day off so that they don't think that I'm like, falling off on my journey. Okay, so consistency matters when it comes to Instagram stories. Yes, you can do different things, like you're doing different workouts. So you can be silly, have your dog in the picture or in the video, have your husband in the picture, have your kid in the picture, have different backgrounds, that sort of thing. But people want to see that consistency. Okay, next question. What apps do I use? So there's an app that I use to brighten up pictures. It's super easy to use. It's called Snapseed. Okay, so Snapseed. Okay, Snapseed. It's one word, Snapseed. And you just upload a picture into there and it brightens it. I think I like the pop filter. But play around with it, and you want to use the same filters on your Instagram page, like all your pictures every time. Use the same filter. You don't want to do like accentuate and then pop and then, I don't know, there's other ones, morning, like all these different ones. You want to use the same filter because then when people look through, it looks unified. Okay, so I like Snapseed for brightening my pictures. I also like to use Video Shop to shorten my videos, like my workout videos, and then speed them up. So the way that Kirk and I do our videos for our workouts is that we prop it up. I have just like a little, let me show you. Let me pull it up. You can get these on, oh, hey guys. You can get this on at Target, on Amazon, but they're just these phone tripods, okay? And you turn your phone like this, and then we literally turn it on the video option. Okay, so the video option, so it's facing us so that you can see the videos playing. We make sure you can see us, and we just let it run, okay? And then after I get done with, the move or how long I wanted to film, I go and turn it off. And then after I get done with my workout, I go back, I'll upload that video onto the Video Shop app, and then I go through and I trim. So I'll trim the parts that I want of that video. And then I will speed it up. So you'll see on the Video Shop app, it's super easy to use. You can just speed it up. Now you can use the iMovie app. I find I like Video Shop better. I don't know why. I don't know. I just think it's easier to use. But you can use Video Shop or the iMovie app to actually trim it and speed it up. Then to add music. And you can only play music on Instagram stories, guys. You can't do it on your actual Instagram page or your Facebook page, okay? So it has to be only Instagram stories. Sorry, I was about to burp. But you can use the app Cut Story, okay? It has like a little Instagram look to it. I'll show you. So you guys can see, I have my Cut Story one and then my Video Shop, okay? So those are the two apps that I use for my videos. Snapseed, oops. Can you show me how to, all right, we'll have to just show you at the bottom. Snapseed, okay? And yes, I have 20 unread text messages right now. So you guys, let's see. The next thing, how do I stay organized with who I'm talking to? Okay, so I think coaches overwhelm, or make this part too complicated, okay? Find what's you're gonna use to track, whether it's a Google Doc Excel sheet, whether it's pen and paper in a notebook, whether it is Social Team Builder, whether it's Teamzy, okay? And then you're gonna have 2 columns in everything that you're using, whether it's on Social Team Builder, whether it's through Teamzy, whether it's through Notebook and Pen, or whether it's through a Google Doc. 1 column for challenge group prospects, 1 column for challenge group prospects, okay? So when you're talking to people, you're going to be categorizing them and saying, would this person make a good challenge group prospect or coach prospect? Even if you have not brought up coaching or a challenge group invite yet, okay? Because they're prospects, okay? And you go through, so I use the hashtags because I use Teamzy. And I go through and I track them and I say hashtag challenge group prospect or hashtag coach prospect. Then when I'm going throughout my week, I have 1 day that I designate to my follow-ups. I can go back through my hashtag challenge group prospect and my hashtag coach prospect and see who I maybe have not invited yet that I think would be a good challenge group prospect, but I just added them to my network, so it would have been weird if I invited them right away, so then I invite them then. Or if it's someone I need to follow up with that I invited earlier the week and maybe I didn't hear back from them, or maybe they're still trying to decide whether or not they want information, then I can follow up with them then. Okay, so don't overcomplicate it, you guys. 2 columns, challenge group prospect, coach prospect, okay, with whatever you use to track. I think those were the only questions, you guys. Like I said, I'm going to link you to some other Instagram trainings that are amazing Instagram trainings from Bonnie Engel and Jen Richardson, quality information. But the most important thing about all of this, you guys, is that you actually put it into action, okay? So if you are someone who likes to watch all the trainings and then you don't actually put it into action, then you shouldn't be watching the trainings, right? You're wasting your time. But if you're someone who truly wants to build this business, watch one of the trainings, apply, okay? And once you start applying that and you're getting comfortable, watch the next training, apply, watch the next training, apply, okay? It's all about actually applying what you're learning. And believe me, there's a lot of things that I mess up on, a lot of trainings that I miss out on, but I am very good at putting what I learn into action and taking it and tweaking it and being consistent, and then taking it and tweaking it and being consistent, okay? That's where the results come in, you guys. It's where you take the action, you actually do it, and then you stay consistent, right? And then you tweak it, and then you keep doing it until you have done it for 60 to 90 days, okay? So I hope this was helpful, you guys. If you have any more questions, please let me know, and I'll talk to you later.